Hello, every pony, and welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to check out all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why? Because I'm in an X-Men mood, I'm about to do an X-Men crossover, and you're coming down with me. It's been a while since we had X-Men featured on the show, hasn't it? I mean, the last time I can remember was back in year one, back when we did the, come on, do crossover. So I think it's about time we brought out something good. And I just happened to find one related to one of my favorite couples. So stay here as we here at the Terry Berry Memorial Library and proud to present Whatever It Takes by Maythrilled number 2. Enjoy. Whatever It Takes by Maythrilled number 2. Whatever happened to number 1? Enjoy. Chapter 1, only chapter. He was gone. It's hard to believe it was really happening. He wished it were nothing but a bad dream. However, reality heavily weighed on their shoulders. Xavier was gone. The man who was not only their mentor, but also a father figure to them all. And now he was gone, most likely for good. Uncountable minutes had gone by following his departure. None of the X-Men dare moved. Where to go when he was the direction? Eventually, silence was broken. Scott stood up. "Listen up," he said with a voice that did not sound as powerful as before. "Xavier's gone, but not his dream." As the speech went on, his strength seemed to slowly return. The dream is still alive. "But without Xavier," Aurora interrupted, but her words quickly faded away. "He was the bond that held us together." "Yes," Hank concurred, struggling as he stood, "and that bond can never be broken." Scott nodded enthusiastically. "That's right. Xavier united us, and we'll keep his memory alive by staying together. So, what do you say?" "I say you're right," Aurora says he got up from her seat. Like everyone else in the room, feeling invigorated by their leader's words. "You're still a family." "You're still X-Men," Scott concluded. Silence fell upon the room once again. Although those hopeful words had gotten them courage and their spirits smoothened, the pain was still too recent to be bearable. Soon enough, one by one, they began to leave their bedrooms, hoping to find some rest. Rogue, on the other hand, did not move. She stood still, arms folded to her sides, head low and eyes vacant. It shouldn't be so hard for her to handle losses after all she had to give up on so young. Her joining the X-Men made it impossible for her to not care for or fear for those who had become her family. However, it was always her who eventually found herself alone and helpless in her own room. She only pretended not to see why Jean comforted herself in Scott's arms. Rogue knew she could never learn how to cope with suffering when facing scenes such as that one. Now, it hurt even deeper for Rogue felt as much pain as Jean did. But it was her own fault, she thought. She herself, who out of fear would always push away the people who cared about her. Not only did she fear hurting others, but also, and even more so, getting hurt. Feeling defeated, Rogue could not help so tears falling down her pale face. She felt as if she had lost every bit of strength in her, as if her heart had been torn into pieces like broken glass. She was about to fall apart when her falling was prevented. Rogue felt the warmth of a comforting hand on her shoulder, and needed not to ask herself who it was. She turned around as fast as she could manage in order to fling herself into the embrace of the man who had always been there for her. Even when she pushed him away, when she did not treat him right, when she hurt him, he has never left her. Gambit. The man who was everything she needed at all times. At this moment in time, more than ever before, Rogue wanted to feel his protection without having to feel obligated to deny it or fear the consequences. Gambit held at her tightly, even though he felt his heart was not whole either. All he wanted to do was comfort her. Listening to her crying in his arms was almost too much for him to bear. So he kissed her name and called her name softly. Rogue pulled back just enough to look at his face. "I can't believe this is happening, Raymond," she confessed, voice affected by her crying, was slowly fading away. "I know, Sarah." He pulled her into his arms again. "It'd be tough on all of us, but the pain will go away in time." He knew that well. He's just... He tried to say it, but stopped short. Voice muffled since her face was buried in his chest. It's hard to imagine what the future will be like. Suddenly, terrifying images crossed her mind, made her heart freeze. Hard, Rogue cast a frightened look at Gambit, which he immediately tried to disguise. You're not leaving, are you? She tried to bring her questions sound unconcerned. She really tried, but she could not stop her words from sounding tremulous. Gambit gave her a soothing smile as his right hand started to play over her hair. Of course not, sir. You heard one eye. We're still the X-Men. You're not getting rid of me that easy. She smiled back, breathing relief. I think I'm pretty much resigned to that, she joked. Then her features became serious. And I won't have it any other way. Gambit smirked. Naeem was taken aback by the seriousness of her words. Do you have any idea what you just confessed to me? I think I do, yes. She answered with the same gravity before. They both fell silent, and so they remained so for a long period of time, and staring back at each other's eyes as their greatest wishes looked deep inside them. At a certain point, Gambit lowered his face towards Rose, and for the first time she did not back off. Gambit's eyes rested on her mouth as if hypnotized by the parting lips called for a kiss, which his own lips to swallow hard before standing back. It was better not to push his luck, he thought. He did not trust himself around that girl. Using all his willpower to control the urge to take her as daughters was exhausting. Even more as he did not resist his moves. Suddenly, Gambit turned to leave. Closing her eyes tightly, Rogue folded her arms around herself in a feeble attempt to make up for a lack of heat as his body was not close to hers. Considering the fact that it's Rogue, if I had a choice between kissing her and getting my life drained, or not being anywhere near that hot, sultry body, I say, it's been a good life. As if not sure what he was doing, Gambit looked over his shoulder and started taking a few steps. He hesitated upon seeing all that sadness on such a beautiful face. Gambit, what are you doing? You get your Cajun little butt back there and you hold that woman! Like a few times before, Gambit just did not know what to do. The more he tried to get close to Rogue, the more she distanced herself from him. Rogue opened her eyes and desperately watched as Gambit was going away. Raymond? She cried. Gambit turned on his knees, surprised. She stared at him for an instant and could speak again. And I'll sleep in your bedroom tonight. She asked falteringly. I don't want to spend the night alone. Bling! Gambit smirked in a way he only knew how. That same smirk that sent shivers up her spine every time. Gambit pretended to ponder. Let's see if I got it right. You in my bed for a whole night. That's what I've been wanting since the first time I got here. Yeah, it's a smirk grew wider. Sounds like a yes, she said with a sudden odd nervousness. I just need to take a shower first. Alone. She had hurried to add when he opened his mouth to say something she was certain would be dirty. Give it smirk again. She was right, of course. I'll be waiting. With a turning wink, he left for his room. Suddenly, consequences did not matter anymore. The very moment she cried for his help, everything seemed to change. Now there was no turning back. Way up to his room was completely automatic as his mind flew away. Mechanical movements, Gambit went in his dark bedroom, took his coat off, then his shirt, and for his last, his boots. He headed to the open window, felt an evening chilly breeze across his skin, lit up a cigarette as he let his mind wander. Rogue was so strong, but also so vulnerable in his arms. So independent, so needy. Gorgeous to the point of making any man lose his mind, but with a girly smile. One of the many reasons why I love that one. That woman would make him go crazy, he thought, releasing his cigarette smoke through his nostrils. What do you do to me, Rogue? He asked himself in kneeling expiration. Meanwhile, Rogue made her way up to her own bedroom, not pleased at all seeing her reflection in a bathroom mirror. The few tears that she had wept were enough to make her eyes red and swollen. She would need a hot shower to try to soften that look that so tragically matched her feelings on that dark day. After showering, Rogue dressed so only her face would be uncovered. Looking at herself in the mirror again, she was glad to find that her face was nearly back to its normal look. Taking a deep breath, she made her way to Gambit's room at the end of the corridor. She got to the door and hesitated before knocking. She did not get any answer. She entered a dark room. The only sign of light came from the gap of the half-open bathroom door. Rogue tried desperately not to pay attention to the sounds of moaning that were coming from Storm's room that sounded, strangely enough, like Logan and Storm. I'm not saying anything, I'm just pointing out that I am a die-hard Storm and Logan shipper, and you cannot stop me. Rogue sat down on Gambit's bed and quietly waited for him. All she could listen was a sound of shower water falling down. After a couple of minutes, she got tired of the dark, so she turned the lamp on. The bedside table door, where the lamp was placed on, was ajar. Inside, something caught the girl's attention. Upon several sheets of paper, the words Rogue did not give a single glance. It was a single pillow folded in half. It was a picture of her, slightly crumpled as if it had been held and kept in a pocket for too long. Come to think of it, Rogue noticed there was no picture frames in sight. In fact, there was almost no decoration at all. Gambit kept the room simple as if it was only temporary. Maybe he had stayed there for longer than he had planned to. Turning attention to the picture in her hands, Rogue smiled. The photo brought back some pleasant memories. She could still remember every single possible detail of that day. It was one of the rare occasions where the residents of the Xavier Mansion were able to take a day off without being interrupted. Gambit had invited Rogue for a walk and a picnic in the park. Argued it was a beautiful day. It'd be a crime to waste a sunny day cooped up in her bedroom. Rogue had accepted the invitation, for she was intrigued by the young Cajun, who had joined the team only 2 months prior. She ended up having more fun than she thought. Gambit acted in the same full of himself scoundrel whom she met the previous week. At the same time, he proved himself to be the most fun and charming guy she had ever met. "You won me that day," Rogue murmured to the crumpled photograph in her hands. When she heard the shower water cease, she put the photograph back where it belonged. In no hurry, sat down in her previous spot. Gambit left the bedroom with a towel wrapped around his waist. "Hey, Chef, been waiting long?" he asked, trying to make some small talk, since he knew she had already been waiting. "No," she answered simply. Gambit headed for the dresser and automatically picked a pair of boxers, but returned them right after. He chose pajama pants, which he put on without removing the towel from his waist. Rogue turned her face away, pretending to get busy with something else. He pretended not to see it. At last, he put a long-sleeved t-shirt on. "Am I gonna be about to staying here?" she asked with the same hesitation as before. Gambit sat down by her side. "Of course not, sir. You should know by now that I love your company." She wanted to see how much she enjoyed his company as well, but for a reason she could not put her finger on. The words once again caught in her throat, as it always did. Before it became awkward, Gambit moved to the other side of the bed and removed the covers, inviting her to get cozier. Rogue made herself comfortable, sat back on the headboard, pulled her legs against her chest, and remained silent. "Does something else bother you, Rogue?" She died. Gambit tensely came closer to her, and Rogue leaned her head on his shoulder. He wrapped his arms around her. "What can I do to help you, my chérie?" "You have no idea how much you help me when you hold me like this," she answered. Her voice so fragile that her words came out as she was telling him a great secret. "What's going on?" Rogue changed positions so she was facing him now. She hesitated, pulled a lock of white hair behind her ear, timidly looked down. "You know, Professor Xavier was helping me out with my powers." She paused when only taking her voice affected by tears. "Now he's gone. All hope I had of being able to control my powers are gone forever. It was probably the only one who could help me. Now..." Voice trailed off. She closed her eyes tightly. Not let herself cry again. "I hate feeling like this," she said angrily, tearing her eyes, filled with tears to him. "How can I be so selfish, Remy? How can I..." She threw herself into her arms once again. Gambit became silent. Nothing he could say seemed convenient at the moment. For a long minute he remained quiet. "Rogue, he said suddenly. Rogue looked away, the strangely disturbed face awaited. Wish I could kiss your pain away. He knew he would do whatever it took to get it. He would sell his soul to the devil. Not that impossible of a task, since he knew the devil in person. Bill. Her eyes closed shut, her chin started trembling as she tried to suppress her tears. Wow, there's always buts. She asked again, looking at his eyes. Rogue. She shut him up by laying her covered hand on his lips. I know, sugar. That day, when you kissed me while I was sleeping, I absorbed not only your powers, but your feelings too. Your pain. Newman said nothing. Just turned his face around and his features became harder. You don't want to think about how much she knew. You suffer in silence. You think you can't love someone else and make them happy. One of Rogue's hands searched his, as he found as he squeezed it tightly. I know that's not the truth. Gambit turned to her, surprised. You mean, you don't blame me? Rogue gave a half smile. How could I? I've made so many mistakes in my life that I lost track. I'm far from perfect, and I don't expect you to blame me. I know you well enough. I know you're a good man. Yet, remorse can bring loudest at times. You don't know the things I've done. No, Rogue. Don't you realize how much he loves you? Trixie, I didn't know you were getting into this. Gambit is a personal favorite X-Men of Trixie's. Can just stick together? He can stick together. No. They do not matter. If you want to tell me about, I won't insist. Past is past. She touched his face softly as he spoke. I know who the real Remy LeBeau is, and I love him. I love the man he's become no matter what he's done. As soon as those words left her lips, Rogue felt the weight of the world lift off her shoulders. She was finally able to say what she meant for so long. Gambit reached for her hands and held them firmly in his. Her confession did not escape his attention. It was even stronger a reason for him to fight. Go on to the end. That moment, everything seemed to fall in place. Then, I think you and me have to forgive ourselves and find a way to make each other happy. Boing! She concurred, knowing it would be the only way and the first big step ahead. Would you leave your past behind for me? I'd do anything for you. I want to love you, Rogue. Not just as a friend who's there to comfort you, but as a man, too. You made me see there's so much more to physical. There's no better way to express love than two bodies together. I want to be able to show you how much I love you, as it should be. It's all I ever wanted, she said femininely, letting herself being completely carried away by the intensity of movement. Yet, too soon, realization what they were getting into came into torment her thoughts. It won't be easy. It never is, he concurred, pulling her closer to him. Yes. We're gonna make it work, my belle. Promise? I promise. He said, holding her arms, feeling her melt in his embrace. She could not bring herself to not believe in every word he said. I promise. I can't believe we finally found a ship we agreed on. Trixie knows. Review time. Vic is pretty great. I gotta admit, I've always been a fan of Remy and Rogue. And it's got nothing to do with how hot Rogue is, okay? It's got nothing to do with how awesome Gambit's voice is. It's got more to do with, well, how unique their love is. Well, because, well, Rogue can't touch anybody. It's her greatest curse about her powers. She can't come anywhere. She can't touch anyone. She can't feel physical attraction unless, you do something specific to her. I mean, sure, there have been points in the comics where Rogue found out, but there's no way she can touch them. And unless Gambit wears a condom, there's no way he can, without taking one for the team and losing all sense of his life. But hey, I gotta admit, that's one hell of a way to go. So instead, you gotta appreciate for how other ways these two show their love for each other, how much they care for one another. I also love the fact that they very much tease each other, are playful towards one another, argue, bicker. In a way, you can feel how much they love one another. It's a powerful, compassionate moment that I can't help but just love about these two. Interestingly enough, I think X-Men are some of my favorite ships to talk about because they do have some interesting ones. From my personal favorite of Storm and Logan and Jean and Scott to Rogue and Gambit. There are different ways to interpret different relationships, and I do like the way the X-Men do play them off. Which is why I was jumping for joy when I saw that they got married instead of Kitty and Colossus. Hey, say what you will about the comic, okay? I get it. I get why some of you are pissed off. Alright, we got promised that Kitty and Gambit, Kitty and Colossus marriage. We got gypped. So, believe it or not, I'm pissed too. However, I'm always a fan of take one tragic wedding and switch it up. And if this means that I can have a married Gambit and Rogue for a bit, I say, let's do it, ma chérie. So, yeah. I also love the fact that everybody was in character, and this fic really did manage to talk about why these guys are close and what was great about their relationship. Basically, I just love this fic because of how short, sweet, and cute, soft, and kind of romantic it was. Able to show love between two people who care about each other far beyond the physical. Well, that was one down, thousands more to go. I'll see you all next time.